Let me ask you something. Outside of cheating, what do you think is the biggest way most women feel disrespected by a guy? And I'll do it for men.
How do they feel disrespected? Wow. That's a really good question, because I feel like cheating really is the main thing for women.
Yeah, but outside of that.
But outside of cheating,
something where like you'd feel disrespected, where it's not a sackable offense of the relationship, but you'd be like, this is a boundary that I may need to set.
Yeah, for me, it's like just kind of not having my back with things. Like, you know, I feel like when you're in a relationship, it's like you should have each other's back no matter what. Yes. And if you want to disagree with me, we can disagree behind closed doors, at home, not in front of people. Like, in front of people, we have to remain strong, and, you know. So I feel like that would make me feel super disrespected if my partner was to like challenge me in front of people, or just be like, no, actually, I don't agree with you. Like, oh my God. Like, just even thinking about that, I'd be like, do you know what? I would respect him if he'd done it behind closed doors and been like, you know what, earlier when we was out and you said this, like, I really didn't agree with what you said. Like, I think what you said was wrong.
Sure.
I take that on board, but do not do that to me in front of people. And I won't do it to you in front of people. Like,
I agree.
I think that's super important.
I completely agree. I think, yeah, if you don't try and have an argument with each other in front of friends or family, especially not work colleagues.
Yes.
Because, yeah, it's a respect thing.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes people can think, they don't realize that them having an argument with their partner, even if their partner's in the wrong, in front of other people, they actually disrespect themselves because they're disrespecting the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just look like a chump anyway.
Yeah.
By doing that.
Exactly.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. What about you?
One for men outside of cheating. I mean, this goes back to social media, but
it's like you have to really think about this one, don't you?
Yeah, because everyone goes to cheating straight away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say actively seeking attention from other men.
Ooh.
Actively seeking attention.
Okay, what do you mean by that? Elaborate.
It could be some guys see posting scanty stuff online, seeking attention from other men. It could be if she's always going on girls' nights out, it's kind of like, why?
Oh, okay.
Why are you always going to girls' nights out? Like, why? Actually, on that, do you think, what percentage of girls going on night out?
You stole my questions.
Is
you read my mind.
What percentage of a girl going on a night out, like a girls' night out, right? What percentage of that do you think is for attention? Yeah, for attention or validation from guys.
Oh, wow, that is
10%, 80%. On average.
If they're in a relationship, or just kind of general.
Just in general, like they're going on girls' nights out.
I'm gonna be honest. Majority of girls do, when they do go on these girls' nights out, they do want to attract some kind of attention. Like, I'm just keeping it real. That's just how girls are.
Yeah, let's be honest, yeah.
Because, you know, it's that kind of thing, isn't it? Like, dress up, look good. Maybe you go out in Mayfair, you see some nice guys, like, they come over, chat to you. That's just how it works. And all the restaurants and the bars and the clubs, they know how it works as well. That's why they invite these pretty girls.
Very true.
That's the culture in London, you know, the nightlife scene. So it's like girls come to the nice restaurants and clubs. The men come in and the men come and talk to you, and you know, that's just how it works. So in a way, I would say it's I would say maybe like I want to say 50%, but 40% maybe.
Okay.
Because you know, in the back of your mind, especially if you're a single girl, you know, in the back of your mind, you're going to go out and you're going to get attention.
Yes.
Like, you're not just going out and people are going to be minding their own business. That does not really happen that much. I mean, unless you're going somewhere like south of France, which is like people just kind of busy doing their own thing. They don't really approach you because everyone's just busy. But if you're in London, it's like everyone's out trying to get to know someone and chat and mingle and, you know.
So on that then.
Yeah.
And Thank you for being honest, right? That's how we build a bridge. Let's be honest, right? Do you think then it is understandable if a man is like, I don't like it when you go on girls' nights out?
I do.
And do you think it's a reasonable boundary for him to set?
I do. I do, because vice versa as well. Like, I feel like if a guy is going out as well every weekend, it kind of gets to a point where it's like, why do you feel the need to be going in clubs every weekend with your boys when you have a girlfriend at home?
And that's a fair point. Like, the frequency says a lot, for sure.
Yeah, it's like something's not quite right there if you feel the need to constantly be going to these clubs.
So I would think, in that situation, if a guy is constantly going out with his boys, I would say it's not he's going out to get attention. I would say he's going out to get away from
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It could be something much deeper. Yeah, exactly. It kind of makes you think, well, is something going on here? Like, you're not happy, you're trying to escape something.
100%.
Because most of the time we do things and it really is because you're not happy somewhere, you know? Because a lot of, I don't know if it's like, personally for me, like I remember in the past, I used to go out a lot and it was just because I wanted to kind of maybe forget about someone or a situation, or you want to distract yourself. So it's like, if you're going out every weekend and you have a partner, there's something not right there. You're not getting something that you want in that relationship. So you're kind of going and seeking it somewhere else. And maybe when you go out on these nights out, it is the attention that's getting you excited, and it's like it's making you want more. So you're like going out every weekend, you're like, I'm gonna get attention, and it means that something's not right in your relationship. Because if someone who's happy and content in a relationship, they don't really want to go out that much, you know?
I would agree with that mostly. Is there an element though of, if a girl is so used to, so imagine you take a girl who has a lot of followers and she gets a lot of validation, right, and she's always out at these crazy places, gets a lot of validation, right?
I'm social butterfly, I'm always out.
Fine.
Like,
is there an element, let's say she's doing it when she's single and then she gets to a relationship. Now, as guys, we know you may love us and everything, but our validation, right, of you saying, babe, you look really gorgeous in that dress, isn't going to match 10,000 people liking your photo.
Right.
With 500 comments from strangers who don't know you, but they all felt the need to make the effort to tell you how gorgeous you are. Right? So it's almost like building an appetite for that level of validation. So you can even be with a man who you truly desire and you truly want, but he's never going to fulfill that appetite if that's where you've built it to. Is there not a case of that happening? So like a girl it's not even necessarily that she's not getting something from home, it's that she has an appetite for something that he can never quench because he's just one man.
I think it depends on the individual themselves, because there's some girls who are very content and just, you know, they're able to separate their kind of social media life from their personal life kind of thing. So it's like they see that as work, or they just see that as their like online presence. And actually in real life, they just want someone who loves them and genuine, and they really don't want much, you know? So I think it depends on the girl. And of course, there's girls who actually love the attention. They lap it up, you know? And it's like, they love the fact that they're getting like footballers sliding in their DMs. And like, I know girls like that. So that girl won't be happy in a relationship because she will always be looking at what's out there.
Yeah.
And there will always be a high value man in her DMs. And it's like, she's looking at you and she's like, well, I can go be with this guy. He'll take me to the Maldives. Like,
yeah.
But it depends on the girl, because it depends on the things that girl values.
Yeah.
So
is there an element of, do you think maybe a lot of girls in the social media space that you're saying, like, you know, they feed off a lot of this attention, but they do want someone to just love them and cherish them? Do you think there's an element of them feeling that they can have both? So like, I can have the man at home who loves me and cherishes me, but I can also continue to get the level of validation and attention that I've grown accustomed to?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, I think social media has made things like it's made us feel like we can get whatever we want, you know. Everything's so accessible to us nowadays, where it's like back in the day it wasn't like that. You actually had to put in some work.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh my god, you could just go on your Instagram and like someone wants to fly you to Miami for the weekend with him, or you know. And I know so many girls who have done these things. They've gone on these trips, and they're in relationships as well, which is shocking.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so sad because some people get caught up in that and then they're not able to get out of that life, you know. And it really is, it's about chasing that high life.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you know, just kind of like a normal guy is not going to give you that rush, that adrenaline, that feeling of excitement, or all that.
And you're right.
He's not going to provide that high life for you.
It's true. Though what I will say though is that for a lot of women who indulge in that, it comes back round to bite them.
Oh yeah, of course.
And this is what I mean. The unflattering reality is they will get to a point as they get older where they are not getting those offers anymore from those kind of men.
Yeah.
Right? And so that is when they'll go, okay, now I want the good guy to cherish and love me.
Yeah.
But any like guy who is that, and especially if he has respect for himself and he knows it before, it's like, you're not going to come to me now because you're not getting what you want.
Yeah. And that's what always happens.
And the truth is, if he was ready before, he's probably chosen a girl who actually wanted that with him as well.
Yeah.
And so then what happens is she stops getting that level of attention validation. Then she has two choices. She either A, has to feel like she settles for a guy who will accept her from that, right? Which it's very likely a lot of quality guys who maybe she could have had before will not accept it now.
Yeah.
Or B, she tries to continue to chase that lifestyle, gets her lips done, forehead done, BBL, boobs done, everything. Yeah. And it's just a consistent uphill battle. And it's really sad, but that's the reality.
It's really sad, and I sadly I know people like that, and it's, you know, it's tough because it's like life is just not easy for the woman when she hits a certain age. And, you know, who was it that said that women lose their value? Is it after 25? Was it Andrew Tate?
Oh, maybe.
He got in a lot of trouble for that.
I mean, I don't agree with that personally. Like,
but I kind of see what he's saying. I think what he meant was women just lose that, what is it, that sexual...
Well, they're like...
market value.
Sexual market value.
And a lot of the time, you know, I go on these podcasts and I hear men saying, oh, well, I will never be with a single mother. You know, and there's so many wonderful single mothers out there right now who are young and they're working hard, but men won't date them.
No. Well, I think a lot of guys would prefer not to. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
So it's like we're talking about women who've kind of had this high life their whole life. And then they've stopped getting offers because maybe now she's hit like 38, 40.
Yeah.
So it's like that age where it's like, you're not really that attractive anymore.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to keep up with the appearances, Botox, lip fillers, liposuction, bum lift.
Yes.
And then it's almost like they've kind of gone into this dark hole now where it's like they're never going to get what they want. And then they're competing with the young girls now who are like getting those guys.
Yep.
So it's so toxic. It's like horrible.
Well, here's the thing. Most men don't feel sorry for those women, and I'll tell you why. I know you're like, oh, it gets hard after a certain point.
Yeah.
The reason men don't feel sorry for them is because the experience that she begins to go through when she's older is the experience 90% of men go through every single day. The guy who works at the post office, the guy who helped you pack your bag, the guy who delivered your Amazon parcel, the guy in your class, the guy that you worked with, right? Most guys are invisible. It is only the high value guys that catches women's attention. The guy who's tall, attractive, in shape, successful, right? Most guys are completely invisible. So when women who have had that taste of the high life, have been that desirable, gotten all the attention, everything, they then get to a point where now they're being treated how most guys are treated. Guys don't feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and this sounds harsh, and I say this because obviously I talk to guys, but it's like, if a lot of guys feel that if you're a woman that you get to that point in life where if you wanted to have a partner, have a family, settle down, you get to that point in life and you haven't done that, it's because you fucked up, because you definitely had an abundance of opportunity to do that. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult for guys to, not every guy, but it's very difficult for a lot of guys to have sympathy.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of guys, it's like, this is how it's been for us since day one.
Yeah.
And most of us don't even get to a point where we can attract a girl like you. Mm-hmm. You've been there, you've had the chance to get those guys, but because you decided to play around, maybe you didn't want it serious, and that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But you have to accept what comes with the path that you choose. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep, I understand that.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.